Okay, here we have our comparison of adjectives lesson. This is number 1. It's actually going to be made up of 2 lessons, the regular and the irregular comparison of adjective lessons. Pause this bit, look over the information, and then we'll go through exercise 19 together. I would alert you to 2 important sections. First of all, the endings of the comparative, which are to be found there. I don't believe that we have those in our textbook. And the second thing that I think is quite as important is beneath it, where it talks about the ablative of comparison. When 2 things, nominative or accusative, are directly compared, then the ablative of comparison is often used. So this section that we've got over here. So basically when you're comparing something to something else, you can simply put it in the ablative. All right, let's pause it, look through this, and then go through exercise 19 with me. Number 1. Silvae Britanniae erant densissimae. The woods of Britain were very thick. You'll notice that issimae ending that you have there, telling me that this is the is ending, telling me that we are dealing with a superlative ending. The woods of Britain were the thickest. The forests were very thick. Issimae is going to be nominative, feminine, plural of the superlative endings. Remember, the superlative endings are the same for adjectives as bonus, bonar, bonum, i.e. first and second declension adjectives. Number 2, noctes. The nights are shorter in Britain than in Italy. I see the iores bit, and looking up here, I see that iores is a plural comparative ending. The next bit. Porsena praised Cloelia, the bravest girl. Audacissimam, describing Cloeliam. Cloeliam, accusative feminine singular. Audacissimam, superlative adjective with accusative feminine singular. Audacissimam, superlative ending. Pauci fuerunt. Next bit, number 4. Few have been braver than Horatius. Fortiores is going to be our comparative ending, nominative plural that we have up there with the altiores still underlined from the previous one. Then we have this interesting point, which is the Horatio, which is an ablative of comparison. Few have been braver, ablative, than Horatius. Next bit. Romani via breviore contendebant. The Romans were marching on the shorter road. Iore there is going to be the comparative, and it is going to be ablative comparative. Via breviore. Next bit. Audaciusne fuit Cloeliae factum quam Horati. This bit is a little bit more difficult. Was fuit, was the factum, the deed, was the action of Cloelia, audacius. I look at that. Now, we all know that eos can actually be a comparative adverb ending. But in this context, it's actually the altius, it is the neuter comparative ending. So it was the action of Cloelia bolder than Horatius, than of Horatia. Horati needs to go in the same case as Cloelia, because it was the action of Cloelia bolder than of Horatius. Very good. The story of Horatius obviously is the story of him defending on the bridge. So was the deed of Cloelia braver than that of Horatius. Propter vitrum Britanni horidiores in pugna esse videntur. I like this sentence because it involves the word woad, which isn't used very often. Woad is kind of like face painting. Britanni, nominative. The Britons, videntur, seemed, esse, to be horidiores, seemed to be more frightening in pugna, in battle, propter, on account of their woad. The Britons seemed to be more frightening, more terrifying in battle. Videntur there, if you remember, video is I see, but videor is a deponent verb meaning I seem. The Britons seemed more frightening in battle on account of their woad. The next bit, let's move on to the next little. Number 8. Nihil est jucundius amicitia. Nothing is more pleasant, amicitia, ablative of comparison, than friendship. Nothing is more pleasant than friendship. That's a nice sentence. Number 9, imperare et parere. It's a little bit blurry here, but you get the picture. Imperare, to rule, et parere, and to obey, sunt, are, res dissimilimi. Is going to be the imilimi, is going to be the superlative ending. To rule and to obey are very different, are the most different matters, the most different things. And last of all, number 10. Quod locus Britannis erat notissimus. Because the place, erat, was notissimus, was very well known to the Romans. Nice little bit of Caesar's Gallic War translation coming out in this sentence. Because the place was very well known to the Britons, the superlative ending of notissimus, facilius eis erat pugnare. It was, facilius, more easy for them to fight, it was easier for them to fight than Romanis, than for the Romans. Erat, it was facilius, more easy, it was more easy for them to fight than for the Romans. The facilius there is the comparative ending. And that is the end of comparison of adjectives number 1 lesson.